Hi, today we want to go ahead and begin with Lab 2, an Introduction to Computer-Aided Design with Altera Quartus 2. In this lab, you're going to re-implement the two circuits that you hand-wired for Lab 1. We're going to handle data entry using schematic capture, basically drawing the pictures of the gates that we want for our circuit. And so, in the previous lab, our first task was to implement the motion in the dark detector. And so we're going to basically rebuild that circuit here using Quartus 2. The first thing that we need to do within our Quartus 2 is bring it up. And once you have it up, it looks very similar to the screenshot that you had from Lab 1. And so to do our project creation, we're going to come to the File pull-down menu, and we're going to choose the New Project Wizard. Within that wizard, this will allow us to create our project very easily. We're going to choose Next past the introduction, and we're going to type in the path of where we want to store our project. What I would really recommend is that you store it in My Documents, and so we can get to My Documents by finding ourselves, going to Users under the C drive, finding yourself, and then using My Documents. Within that, I have a file, 3714. I recommend that you store this within your class file. And then we want Lab 2. We're going to choose Lab 2. You may have to type that in. And I also want to add to this as well Task 1. Okay, I want to have two different folders. One for Task 1, which is the small motion in the dark detector, and then Task 2 being our combinational logic circuit. And so once I've set up the directory, I'm going to type in the name of my project, which is going to be my_detector. Okay, all lowercase, spelling it with a underscore between the two words my and detector. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and click Next. Okay. If you don't have the files created, it will ask you if you want to create the files. You can just go ahead and say yes, and so we'll say yes, and we get to the project type window. We want an empty project for now. We don't have any previously existing design templates, and so we'll just choose the default, the empty project, and go to Next. For this particular lab, we're not going to add our files from the Google Sites at this location. We're going to add them after we've actually done some work within the project. And so we'll just click Next for now. And so we get to the family and device settings. Notice that we want to choose the correct family for our FPGA, which happens to be Cyclone 5. So make sure that your family is a Cyclone 5, and then you can scroll down and you can find, or scroll up actually is what we need to do, scroll up to find the device which is on our DE0 board. And the device is okay, the 5CEB, it should be A4F, so I have to scroll back down to find the A4F. Here we go, 5CEB A4F 23C7. So once we've found that, we're going to choose that device and we can click Next. Make certain that you choose the correct device. Otherwise, when you go to program the board, it won't work. So choose the correct device. That number is also written on the top of your FPGA on your DE0 board, as well as in the manual. So make sure you choose the correct device. Clicking Next, it takes us to our EDA tool settings page, and we need to set what tools we're going to use. Our design entry and synthesis, although we're using schematic capture, it's not one of the tool names that's chosen. Typically, you don't use schematic capture for FPGA designs, but because this is a beginner class, it's an introductory class, we're just going to use schematic capture, and that's not one of the complex tools that's offered. So we're just going to leave that as none, and that'll work. And so then we get to simulation, and we need to make certain that we choose the correct tool for our simulation. So if we do a pull-down menu, we see that there are several different choices. Do not choose just ModelSim. Choose ModelSim Altera. That is the free version. That is the version that you want. If you choose just ModelSim, it's going to ask you for a license when you go to run the simulation. And we want the free version, which doesn't require a license. We also want the simulator to start automatically within our compilation. And so we need to click Run Gate Level Simulation automatically after compilation box. If we don't click that box, our simulator will not start. You'll end up with an 83% error in your compilation design execution. And so once you've done those settings, the Model Sim Altera, and clicking on the Run tool box, we can click Next, and we get to the summary page. Notice within the summary page, we have the project directory listed, the entire path that we want to have our project stored. We have the name of the project. We have our family name of our device, as well as the actual number itself for our device. And we have the tool that we're using for our simulator. So make sure that yours are all correct, set up for your particular path and for your project. And once you have that, take a screenshot because you'll use that for your report. And just click Finish, and you're done with project creation. Thanks for watching.